niggas know how I bleed. Put that on my unborn seed. I be standing on my creed. I love this truth, I never stop, I keep it going. I love this truth, I never stop, I keep it going.
50 BMG, pistol, make them peas get somewhere. I'm the type of nigga choose dare when it's truth or dare. Isupk, home of the truth, it ain't no mirage. Built up my rank and doubled up on my Dawa dies. When I'm looking through the scope, man, the circle big. I specialize in slaughtering purple pig. If I tell you I'ma get you, you as good as got. You might as well get a cemetery plot. I come with fire and chariots like a whirlwind. Indignation for my enemies until the world end. Danger, residue on my trigger finger. Niggas die for playing both sides, better pick an angle. Is you in the truth, or is you ain't? I bathe myself in turpentine and leave you in the paint. They can't hold or control what I'm about to give them. One body, one spirit, one baptism.
My niggas know how I bleed. Put that on my unborn seed. I be standing on my creed. I love this truth, I never stop, I keep it going. I love this truth, I never stop, I keep it going. My niggas know how I bleed. Put that on my unborn seed. I be standing on my creed. I love this truth, I never stop, I keep it going. I love this truth, I never stop, I keep it going.
I don't celebrate pagan holidays, so now you know. Baby mama hate me, took my child, so I said fuck that hoe. Here I go, I'm all in, grinding hard, keep teaching class. All them lies she tell my son, it's gonna come back on her ass. You think I'm crazy, but I'm not, I'm certified. A priest and prophet of the Lord, it's been verified. Oil poured on my head, I took a vow I won't renege. Like them fake Israelite groups do, that's a fig. One Lord, one faith, one West. We don't run, don't hide, say it with my chest. I left for a while, now I'm back again. I'm about to go ham, and I ain't talking about no African. Isupk forever, we gon' get respect. We took the sword to Acuna and brought it back wet. We host you more, you get searched before you enter. Try something, you'll get mauled. I ain't talking about no shopping center.
My niggas know how I bleed. Put that on my unborn seed. I be standing on my creed. I love this truth, I never stop, I keep it going. I love this truth, I never stop, I keep it going. My niggas know how I bleed. Put that on my unborn seed. I be standing on my creed. I love this truth, I never stop, I keep it going. I love this truth, I never stop, I keep it going. Keep it going.
Lost tribes, Tribe 5. Now y'all know what it is.
Keep it going.
This is my bloodline, my lineage.
All right, shalom, 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 Yasha Ali. Right, I am priest and officer Mabadazar. The Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge started out of 1 West Harlem, New York, under the commanding general Yohanan. Right, today is the Thursday night scripture breakdown class. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and drop it in the chat. Right. And until then, we're gonna pick up, where we left off last week, right? Going in on Pride Month, man. Right. Got to understand that that's a demon that we have to come up against, man. Just like any other demon, right? At this time of the year, that demon is in the air, man, right? And we're gonna get into it. We're gonna crank it off how we usually do. You are a Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian from North, South, or Central Americas are scattered abroad, right? You are considered to be an Israelite according to the Bible. But this right here is your personal Israelite starter kit, man. All right, so this right here is the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. So you can look up certain words that you may not fully understand when you're coming across in these records. Right? You ought to get you one of these. Along with that, you ought to have you an Apocrypha, right? Authorized by a Black man by the name of King James, right? That sat on 3 thrones at one time: Ireland, Scotland, and England. Okay. It was at the hand of the oppressor, who is the goddamn devil the Bible speaks of, that these records were removed out of the Bible, right? You ought to have this. Along with that, you need to have you a King James Version Bible, right? Not the New King James Version, not the English Standard Version, or the Queen James Version, right? None of those translations they got out there, man. Right, get you a regular King James Version Bible. This is the closest you're gonna get to the original text, man. Right, with the King James Version and the Apocrypha, you have your full, complete records, man. Now you are ready to seek out what the Lord require of you as a Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian. Right. With that being said, we're gonna be starting at the book of Leviticus, the 18th chapter, verse 22. All right. We're gonna get that up on the screen. Go ahead and read it when you got it.
It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 18, verse 22. Thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind.
Hear that? We're just picking up for what we left off last week, man. Right? This is in the law, man. Right? The laws that the Lord gave unto us as a nation of people, as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, that we should keep, man. Meaning we should abide by these laws, man. Right? We do everything that we can to try to be a good Samaritan in the land of our oppressor, and to follow his law, right? To stay from up under his foot, right? But when it comes to the Lord, right, we ain't got no respect for it, man. But like I said, thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind. Right? A man should not be looking to be interested in another man, right? A woman should not be looking to be interested into another woman, man. Thus said the Lord, man. This is not, something I'm making up, man. Today they got our people going and get married in the church, man. That lets you know that, they are far from the Lord, man. The spirit of the Lord is far from that goddamn church house, man. That church house, it ain't nothing but the house of sin, man. Right? It's nothing to do with the Lord in there, man. All right, they sit around and tell us that the laws of God is done away with, man. And by them doing that, then we don't listen to things like this, because this is in the law, right? It says, thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind. Meaning a man should not lay with another man. And vice versa. The same thing for a woman, man. So, you know what I'm saying? What the hell are we doing out here, man? You know? As blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we should be separating ourselves from the ways of this world, man. You know, our king said this world was given into the hand of the wicked, man. Right? So this is not the kingdom of our king. You know, this is our hell as a nation of people. Right? And the only way we're gonna get up out of this condition that we're in is to keep the laws of God, man. And you can't be they them, you know, LBGTQ element of P, you know, and still serve the Lord, man. You're gonna have to choose one. You're gonna love one and you're gonna hate the other, right? You can't serve two masters, man. You can't serve this oppressor and serve the Lord, man. You're gonna have to fall away from the ways of this world, man. All right, so let's get Romans 1:24. Oh, Salakia, go ahead, read it again.
Thou shalt not lie with mankind as womankind. It is an abomination.
Saying that, you know what I'm saying, this is an abomination for you to do so, man. For a man to be looking upon another man and a woman to be looking upon another woman, right? This is an abomination, meaning this is something that the Lord hates so much that he'll destroy you for it, man. You know, he'll unalive you for it. You know, and the scriptures also say that that your blood shall be upon you, right? We as the priests are not hunting you down, you know, and making you pay for the crime that you are committing against the Lord. But the Lord will put the punishment in your blood, man, for your sins, right? That's why they got all these goddamn HIV AIDS commercials, man. You know, and they got these they thems on the commercial. Happy as could be, like it's cool to have, you know, that disease, man. You know, now they can take a pill and continue to have, you know, more pleasure in themselves, right? When all they doing is steady spreading sickness and disease throughout the earth, man. You know what I'm saying? So let's drop that, man. Let's get Romans 1:24. Go ahead and read it.
Book of Romans, chapter 1, verse 24. Wherefore God also gave them up to uncleanness through their lust of their own hearts.
You know what I'm saying? Because they go out, you know, and they think it's all good. You know what I'm saying? They follow, you know, a diverse lust, man. Right? They burning in a diverse lust towards, you know, each other. You know, in their head, this is what's on their mind, man. Right? That's why I say in their heart, man. Meaning this is what's implanted in their mind. Right? They got it in their mind that they want to go and deal with another man. As a woman, she want to go and be with another woman, and that's okay. You know, in their mind. But you know what I'm saying? It's not cool when it comes to serving the Lord, man. Like you say, the Lord say that he would give them up to their uncleanness, meaning, you know, the Lord will let you burn in your lust and in your sin, man. And that sickness hit your blood, man. You know, be something that you can't get rid of, man. Right? You know, it would behoove you to hearken unto the voice of the Lord, man. Right? You know, we're gonna tell you what your Christian pastor is not gonna tell you, right? Because you know, he don't care. The only thing he care about is them tithes that you keep putting in that collection plate, man. Because you feel guilty, you know, for all the transgressions you done broke all week long, man. You think that when you get in that church and you know you open up your wallet or your purse, you drop a little cash in that collection plate, you feel like you know everything all right then. You can't pay the Lord, man, for your crimes, man. You know, the Lord is going to make you suffer, man. Right? Read it again for me. Go ahead.
Wherefore God also gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves.
And that's what you're doing, man. You are dishonoring your body as a woman, right? To go and be rubbing boxes with another woman, man. Right? You know, to be kissing and hugging upon another woman, man. You are dishonoring your body, man. Right? You know, you can't lay down with another woman and bring forth children, man. Right? You know, if everybody was to go that way, then who will repopulate the earth, man? It's not normal, man. That's a sickness. You know, for a man to go and, let another man bend you over, right? You are dishonoring your body, man. Right? And think about that. Your body is supposed to be the temple of the Lord and Christ, man. They supposed to be dwelling inside of you, man. And you doing things like that, you cause the Lord and Christ to move around, man. You know, they move around. They be, they like, I can't dwell here. So they get up out of there, and then guess what? Guess who's in there? That give way for them demons, because you were made for something to dwell inside of you. You are a vessel for something to dwell in you. And if the Lord and Christ can't live in you, you know what I'm saying? That's when those demons come. And the demon job is to destroy you, man. To unalive you for the crimes that you are committing against the Lord, man. Right? And if you don't know how a demon works, man, it's going to isolate you, man. It's going to separate you from any help, man. Right? It's going to get you alone, man. Then it's going to shame you. Right? And then, from that, it's going to destroy you and seek to kill you. All because you are doing what the Lord said for you not to do, man. And that's his job. It's your job to defeat your demon and become stronger, right? So let's drop down to verse 25.
The book of Romans, chapter 1, verse 25. Who changed the truth of God into a lie? And worship.
Who did that? Who changed the truth of God into a lie, man? Who told you that it was okay for you to go out here and be a man blowing rod, man? Who told you that it was okay to be a woman out here eating box? You know, who changed the truth of God into a lie, man? You know, and got you in the church house, you know, getting married, man. Right? You know, down in Israel, you know, they what's that, Tel Aviv or something like that? They throw the biggest Pride Month goddamn party in the world, man, or parade, whatever you want to call it, man. In the land of the Lord, man. Like, that's evil, man. You know, that lets you know, man, this oppressor is, you know, he's a they them. You know, we need to separate from that spirit, man. Keep them far from us, man. You know, he's the one that changed the truth of God into a lie, man. You know, he's the one that have stolen our identity, right? Wiped us of our culture, our language, and our God, man. Right? And then teach us that it's okay, you know, to go and be a man and get your backside blown out, man. Right? You to be a woman and go rub boxes. These things is okay. You know, the oppressor is the goddamn devil, man. He is a liar and a deceiver, man. Right? And he cannot be trusted, man. Go ahead, keep reading.
And serve creature more than the creator, who is blessed forever.
All right, you know what I'm saying? He's the one that served, you know, he wants us to serve him. You know, he don't want us to serve the Most High God of Israel, man. You know, we serve everything in the earth except for the Lord, man. You know, that's a crime, you know, for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to turn back to our power, man. You know, back then they were unaliving us for keeping the Sabbath days, man. You know, and keeping the holy convocations and doing what thus said the Lord. We were found doing those things, man. You know, we were being taken out, man. Right? Men, women, and children. You know. Let's get verse 26.
Romans chapter 1, verse 26. For this cause God gave them up unto vile affection, for even their women did change the natural use into which is against nature.
You know what I'm saying? The natural use that's against nature. A woman is supposed to get with a man and bring forth children, man. You know, now you out here, you know, hugged up with a woman and you're buying a poodle. You know, you got pets. You know, you raising pets as if it's y'all baby, man. You know, are y'all looking to adopt, you know, somebody else a kid, you know, Lord be with that child, you know, they have to come up under that, because that's straight up confusion, man. And the Lord said that he is not the author of confusion, man. Right? You know, they should ban y'all from being able to adopt anything, man, because you got a sickness. Go ahead.
You gotta go to school and tell the other kids you got two moms.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. You know, for your kids to have to go to school and everybody talking about their mom and their daddy, you know, and they got to say, well, I got two dads, so you know, I got two moms. You know, that's crazy, man. You know, that's not natural, man. That's against nature. You know, the Lord say, you know what I'm saying? It said for this cause, God gave them up unto vile affection, man. All right. See, let's get verse 27.
Romans chapter 1, verse 27. And likewise, also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman.
You hear that? You know, the men too, man. Right? The men leaving the natural use of a woman. You know, when you go and get you a woman and you lay with her and y'all bring forth children and you raise that family together, man. You know, in these days, brothers out here are trying to get bent over by another brother, man. You know, that's not natural, man. That's against nature, man. Continue on.
Burn in their lust.
They burning in their lust, man. Read it again. Burn
in their lust one toward another.
And they are burning in their lust one towards another, man. That's a sickness, man. If I woke up one morning and just, start quacking like a duck everywhere I went, man. And I go out into go to the store, whatever I do, and all day I'm just quacking like a goddamn duck. You're gonna say something is wrong with that brother, man. That brother needs some help. He got a problem, man. But you mean to tell me I can, wake up one morning and put on a goddamn skirt or a dress,
right,
and walk out into the public, and that's cool. That's not a sickness. That's okay. That's a goddamn sickness, man. Right, and it's a must that we war against that, man. If you suffering from that, you are Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, man. From North, South, or Central Americas are scattered abroad, man. It behooves you to contact the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge and seek counsel, man. Right? It's hell out here, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? To be a man and let another man bend you over, man. That's a lot of psychological damage. You know what I'm saying? Trauma going on in your mind, man. Right? That's what's in your heart. You know what I'm saying? You destroy it, man. Right? And you ain't gonna get no help in that goddamn religion. You ain't gonna get no help in that Christian church, man. You're gonna have to come to the men of the Lord to get your life in order, man. Right? But you have to want it for yourself. Meaning you're gonna have to fight for yourself, man. But what good is me going and giving my life for you and you ain't willing to fight for yourself? Right? Continue on.
Burn in their lust one toward another, men with men, working that which is unseen.
Working that which is unseemly, man. For you to be going and blowing another man's rod, man. That's insane, man. You got problems. We up here, telling you what the world don't want to tell you, because the world would have you be like that. The world love its own, man. The world is like that, and you can be like that too, man. But guess what? We are not of this world, man. We are of the Lord, man. We take on the spirit of the Lord. The Lord created us to serve him, man. Our problem is we too busy serving this goddamn oppressor. You know, we do what thus said the oppressor, not what thus said the Lord, man. Continue on.
And receiving in themselves that recompense of their error, which was meat.
Which was meat, man.
Which was meat.
You know. Yeah, your error is in the meats, brother. You know, sister, you know, trying to munch on their pig feet. You know, need to stop, you know, need to stop all that, man. Right? The Lord is not with it. I'm saying this is something that the Lord will, he hated so much that he will unalive you for it, man. He would destroy your life for it, man. Right? And it's time that we fix ourselves as a nation of people, man. Right? We going in on this because, like I said again, it's that time of the month, man. You know, it's that time of the year, right? You know, it's that month.
Also, sorry. Yeah.
Huh? Oh,
Twice. Also,
I don't know. God damn, they done got 2 months, you saying?
2 months, sir.
Damn. No sweat. Let's get verse 28.
Book of Romans, chapter 1, verse 28. Even as they did not like to return Salah, and even as they did not like to retain God in their knowledge.
You see that? You see that? Because they didn't want to hear the truth, man. They didn't want to hear what the prophets of the Lord was saying, man. You know, they wanted to listen to the oppressor. They wanted to be like the world. You know, they looked at it like the world was having fun, man. You know, like it was more fun to go out and be a man blowing rod, man, than to serve the Lord, right? They wanted to live their best life, live it to the full, right? What's that? YOLO, right? Right? You only live once, so you're gonna live your life to the full with having a man bend you over, man. Right? But, you know, because you choose not to retain the knowledge of God, man, and change your life, man, and come to hell up out of that goddamn way of thinking in life, man. God did what?
God gave them over to a reprobate mind.
A reprobate mind, man. The Lord gave you up unto a reprobate mind, man. Meaning, you know, you're gonna destroy yourself with the way that you're thinking, man. Right? You don't care what the Lord is saying. You don't care what the men of the Lord is saying to you. Right? You know, you care about pleasuring yourself, man. You serve yourself. It's whatever make you happy, man. But at the end of the day, you know that sickness that's going to creep up in your blood, man. You know, just remember, you know, all the happy days you had, man. You know, just remember, you know, you lived your life to the full, man. You only live once. You know, and you lived it as a man getting bent over by another man or blowing rod, man. And that sickness came upon you and took you out, man. You know, because you choose not to hear the truth. You choose not to believe in the Most High God of Israel, right? You chose not to hearkening to the voice of the men in the Israelite school of universal practical knowledge, man. And for that, I'm saying the Lord give you up to a reprobate mind, man. To do what?
To do things which are not convenient.
Right? To do things that are not convenient, man. All right. Let's see. Let's drop that. Let's get 1 Timothy 1:8.
First Timothy what, sir?
1:8. Matter of fact, let's see. Let me see. Hold on. All right, I'm gonna drop that one. I'm gonna get nope. Let's read 10. Read verse 10. 1 Timothy 1:10.
Book of 1 Timothy chapter 1, verse 10. For whoremongers.
Right? So a whoremonger is, someone who sells whores, man. Right? Monger is someone who sells something, right? So a whoremonger is talking about, somebody who sells women, man. Go ahead.
Whoremongers, for them that defile themselves with mankind.
Mm-hmm.
For men stealers.
Men stealers, someone that takes a man and steal him, man. Like this oppressor did to us as a nation of people, man. Right? Go ahead.
For liars.
Uh-huh.
For perjured persons.
For liars or someone who go up under oath and lie, man. Right? Go ahead.
And if there be any other thing that is contrary to the sound doctrine.
All right. All right, I'm gonna drop that one. I'm gonna get Ecclesiastes 12:6. All right, that ain't what I thought it was.
Is it 12:6?
Ecclesiasticus 12:6 in the Apocrypha. All right. Go ahead.
It's the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, verse 6. For the Most High hated
So you're gonna have to use this if you can't get it.
For the Most High hated sinners, and repay vengeance unto them ungodly.
Right. So the Lord said it says that the Most High hated sinners, man. Right. In the Christian church, they tell you that the Lord loved the sinner, but he hates the sin. Well, here we reading where it tells you, the Lord is not with you, man. Right? Sin is the transgression of the law, man. Meaning you break the laws that are written in the first 5 books of the Bible, man. Then You know, you are in sin. You are transgressing the law, man. And the Lord is not with you, man. Said, for the Most High hated sinners, man. You hear that? You know, this ain't what I'm saying. You know, this ain't what I'm making up. Commanding General Yohana didn't make this up. The Lord hates sinners, man. You know, the Lord hates for you to be a man, you know, laid up with another man. The Lord hates for you to be a woman and be laid up with another woman, man. The Lord hates these things, man. And the Lord hates you as well, you know, because you are committing an abomination, man. Something that the Lord hates so much. I got to say it again and again and again, because our people, you know, we are a hard-headed, stiff-necked nation of people, man. The Lord hated so much that he will unalive you for it, man. That's what an abomination is, man. You know, the Lord hates you and the sin, man, that you are committing. You know, you cannot serve the Lord and be a woman out here eating box, man. You know, you cannot serve the Lord and be a man out here blowing rod, man. The Lord hates you and what you're doing. You know, in the Christian church, they're gonna tell you the Lord hates the sin, but he loves you. You know, he loved the sinner, but hate the sin. That's a goddamn lie, man. We are reading right now. So we are reading, you know, what the Lord is saying to us, man. These things were written aforetime for our learning, so we can have hope as a nation of people, man, to come up out of the hellish conditions we are in as a nation, man. And it say, for the Most High hated sinners, man. I mean, you better make sure that you are on the right hand side of the Lord, man. You don't want to be on the wrong side, man. You know, make sure that you are with the Lord, man. The Lord is with you. You know, you could think that you with the Lord, you know, you think the Lord with you, but you better make sure, man. You know, you got to be sure. Come and get into the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, man. You can learn the truth and be sure. You know, continue on.
For the Most High hated sinners and will repay vengeance unto the ungodly.
I'm saying, the Lord is gonna make you pay, man. The Lord hates you for what you're doing, man. You know, you're out here rubbing boxes and getting bent over by another man and blowing rod as a man. Look, the Lord is going to repay you with his vengeance, man. He's gonna make you pay for your crimes, man. All right? You know, and your life is not gonna look like that goddamn commercial when they all happy and holding hands, you know, all flamboyant and, you know, with the they-them spirit, you know, because they got a little pill where they can keep on going out there and get bent over by another man, you know. You know, I guarantee you, when that sickness hits your blood, you ain't gonna be looking like them on that goddamn commercial, man. You know, you're gonna be looking with the dumb look, man. Right? You got something?
So the scripture say, "No hand joined in hand."
Man, look out. You know, Lord is going to make you pay for your crime, man.
Right.
Say, and will repay vengeance unto the ungodly, because that's what you're doing. You are committing an ungodly act, man. You know, you are going against the laws of God, man, and you don't care. Right? You know, you rather serve the oppressor and serve the world and be of the world, man. If you want to serve the Lord, you got to come up out of this place, man. You got to separate your spirit from this place. Go ahead.
And keep it built against the mighty day of their punishment.
Meaning your day is coming. It ain't coming expediently, but it's coming, man. You know, You know, because sometimes we don't have to pay for our crimes right then and there. You know, it's set in our heart to just keep doing wicked, man, because we ain't paying for it right then and there. But the Lord, He's keeping you, you know, against that mighty day, man. You know, when your life start to fall apart for the crimes that you are committing against the Lord, man. You know, and when your life start falling apart, who you gonna blame? You know, you're not gonna take no accountability for your action. You're gonna blame the Lord. You're gonna say, if there was a God, then why did He let me go through this, or why did I have to go through that, man? You ain't gonna take no accountability for your own actions, man. Right? See, let's drop that. Let's get Ecclesiasticus 19 and 29. Go ahead.
Ecclesiastes chapter 19, verse 29. A man may be known by his look, one that understanding by his countenance.
See, it said a man may be known by his look, man. You know, you could tell a brother's spirit just by, you know, the way he look, the way he carry himself, man. You can understand who he is just by checking out his countenance, man, the way he's dressing, man. You know, brother out here wearing a goddamn purse, man. You know, got on a damn tank top with some goddamn extra skinny jeans on, man. You know, wearing, wearing t-shirts with fringes on them, man. Man out here wearing things that pertain to a woman, man. You know, his countenance show who he is, man. You know, the attire that he wear, you know, the things that he dress, man. You know, the way the things he wear when he get dressed, man. That tells you what type of man that brother is, man. Like I say, a man may be known by his looks, and one that had understanding by his countenance, man. You know, he's out here, switching back and forth, man. Loud like a woman, you know, smacking his goddamn fingers and waving his neck, man. You know, that brother ain't got no understanding, man. You know, that brother is destroyed, man, for a lack of knowledge, you know, for a lack of understanding of this truth in this Bible, man. You're out here wearing purple, man. Joining the goddamn purple pageant group, man. You know, your countenance shows that you ain't got no understanding of this Bible, man. The only place you're gonna find the understanding of this Bible is here in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under the commanding General Yohana, man. If you are a Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian up under the sound of my voice, you should be looking for a school near you, man. Right? You know, your foot ought to be wearing down the doorsteps of the priest of the Lord, man. Right? And they only reside in this little sanctuary, right? You know, which the Lord chose, man. Right? And you ain't gonna find they thems up in here, man. You might come in a day them, but you gonna get your life in order, man. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get some structure. You know, you're gonna follow, you know, have a moral code to live by. And you're gonna be ordered to follow that, man. right? Or else, you know, you can stay in a Christian church. You can stay in the Muslim mosque. You know, go worship Buddha. You know, they all doing that they them over there. They celebrate, you know, they got the pride flags. They probably putting that up in the church too. Shit. They got the oppressor Jesus in there, you know. You know, they probably got it all over the choir. You know, the choir department, you know what I'm saying? You know, got him up in there waving his hand, you know, directing the choir. Get the hell up out of that goddamn Christian church, man. Come up out of them goddamn religions. You know, that's the reason why our people are destroyed right now, man. Continue on.
By his consonants, whereby meters him.
See, let's drop that. Let's get Isaiah 3 and 9. Got it?
The book of Isaiah, chapter 3, verse 9. The show of their countenance doing witness against them.
You know what I'm saying? The show of their countenance, it witnessed against them, man. The way that they behave, you know, the way that they dress, you know, the way that they are switching back and forward, man. You know, for brother, you know, he's standing up silent. He's stiff. You know, rough. They call it toxic masculinity, right? You know, that's the spirit you want to have, man. That's the spirit Christ had. So you want to be in that spirit, man. You know, that's the countenance you need to be bringing forth throughout the earth, man. You know, you out here a whole man out here, clamorous, son, loud mouth and clamorous. You know what I'm saying? With your tongue out, man. You know, breaking your wrists. Goddamn, twerking. Damn. That's just like the purple pageant leader. He was on there twerking.
I saw that.
Good night, man. And you going, you pass up the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge to go and join that. To get twerked on by your leader. You know what I'm saying? The Lord is exposing these these thieves out here, man. You know. Lord showing you that he's not with them. Man. Go ahead.
Show of their countenance doing witness against them, and they declare them, and they declare their sin and sorrow.
You hear that? That's a sin, man. That's a transgression of the law. And their countenance is witnessing against them that they, you know, they are taking on a demon, right? That same demon that was in Sodom, man, in Sodom and Gomorrah. And the Lord hated it so much that he destroyed the people in that land. He destroyed that land, even till today. You know, it's not somewhere that you can dwell. You know. Now you can't. Now the land of Sodom, the Lord destroyed it so much that you can't go there today.
Oh, it's not.
No. Now they got a new land of Sodom. You know, it's up under the umbrella of the oppressor.
Right.
You know, and the Lord is gonna do the same thing to this kingdom, man. You know, like the scriptures say, you know, they was eating and drinking, you know, and marrying. I mean, they was eating, drinking, partying, and having sex, man. And the floods came. You know, they thought it was all good until, you know, it started raining. You know, the floods started coming, and they wanted to start jumping on that ship. But by then it was too late. You know, Like I say, just as in the days of Noah, right? You're gonna be eating and drinking and partying and having sex, and you ain't gonna know that, you know, the shit is about to hit the fan. All right, we are blowing the trumpet right now. We are sounding the alarm. You ain't gonna better say I never heard the truth, man. You know, you're gonna say, man, I seen them niggas, and I flipped the goddamn page on them. You know, I kept on scrolling, or you know, I seen them crazy niggas on the corner, crazy Negroes on the corner, Salaki, you know, and you know, I told them they just need to get out that corner, go get them a job, right? You know, we own the airways and the highways and the byways, man. You know, we chopping it up with you in the world, man. You ain't gonna be able to tell a Lord, you know, I didn't know. Because the world is hearing the truth, man. You know, you experienced all the lies. You know, the Lord let all the lies go out first, man. Right? The scripture say, I think that I have sent for my apostles last, man. Meaning all the lies and had a head start. Everything that you can believe in and think that it's other Lord, man, you didn't experience it and went through it, man. And now we are coming through and destroying all those lies, man. You know what I'm saying? Coming through like a virus, right? Spreading the truth, man. And that's what we gonna do, whether you like it or not, man. You know, you watching this video, you drowning in your lust for another brother. You know, you gonna scroll on this goddamn video, and you know what I'm saying? You might catch that sickness tonight, you know, if you ain't already got it, you know. But, you know, the Lord won't be with you. You want the Lord to be with you, you better get into the Israelite School Universal Practical Knowledge, man. He ain't in the world. He's not in that goddamn Christian church. He's not in that Muslim mosque. You know what I'm saying? Right? Let's continue on.
They declare the sin as Sodom. They hide it not.
And they ain't hiding it. They ain't in the closet no more. You know, they in the streets. You know, they out and about, man. You know, back in the day, you know, it wasn't cool to come out like that, man. You got something?
Call it flamboyant.
Flamboyant, huh?
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't cool to just come out like that. Now they out the closet.
Right.
You know, they out in the open, man. You know, even some of these brothers that's supposed to be stiff, they supposed to be stiff Negroes, man. You know, over there bending another brother over and still and want to say that he's not like that. He's not they them because he wouldn't have one got bent over, right? You know what I'm saying? You bent that brother over, you just like him. You know what I'm saying? You they them too, man. You know what I'm saying? That's a sickness, that's a demon, man. You know. Now, if you would bend another brother over, I guarantee you would let another brother bend you over, man. You know what I'm saying? Just keep doing it long enough. You know what I'm saying? Let's continue on, man.
Woe unto their soul. They have more than evil unto themselves.
Hold on, right? Because they don't hide it, man. They are out in the streets. They are out in the open, man. They waving their flag around. The same flag, right? Was that rainbow flag is a token from the Lord, man. You know, that he'll never destroy this place by a flood again, man. You know, and you take it and, you know, you out in the streets waving it and parading it around to go out and blow rod and get your backside busted up as a man. You know what I'm saying? Your sins is as Sodom, man. You're not hiding it. And guess what? Destruction is coming to your soul, man. That's what it say. Woe unto their soul, meaning destruction. Anytime you see the word woe in the Bible, you know what I'm saying? It's like, whoa, look out. You know, if somebody was to drop a bomb right next to your house and it goes off, so you're gonna be like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? It's something serious. You know, and destruction is going to come to your soul, man. You got something?
I just on Facebook, I just typed in gay day. This will pop up.
What is IUIC? Dang, they got they at the damn parade, huh? Good night. They got the purple pageants is at the Pride Month parade. Man, they the first thing pop up on the they them page. He typed in they them on he Googled they them on the goddamn Google machine, and the first thing popped up is the purple pageant. You know, it looked like they're at the they them parade. You know, that's why they getting ran off the goddamn block by women. You know, women running them off the goddamn streets. The Lord is not with them. You know, a lot of I ain't even gonna go down that road. Let's continue on, man.
Oh, unto their soul, for they have rewarded evil unto themselves.
I'm saying destruction is coming to your soul because you rewarded evil unto yourself, man. You know, you took pleasure in going and being with another man. You know, you took pleasure as a woman and going and, you know, dealing with another woman, man, and doing the things that's not natural, man. The things that's against nature. You know, you were cool with that, man. But destruction is coming to your soul, man. You know? Let's see. Let's drop that. Let's get Genesis 19:1. Go ahead.
Book of Genesis, chapter 19, verse 1. There came two angels to Sodom.
Hold on, man. You know. Go ahead.
And there came two angels to Sodom at evening.
I mean, this two angels that's pulling up into the land of Sodom, man. Right? And they say they pulled up at evening, man. Right? Go and do whatever the Lord sent them to do, man. Right? They go to and fro throughout the earth, you know, to do whatever the Lord have them do and to return to the Lord and give a report, man. Right? So these two angels is coming down and they passing through the land of Sodom, right? Let me go ahead.
Lot sat at the gate of Sodom.
Right? And this Lot, man, you know, Lot is you know, where you know the Moabites and the Ammonites come from, right? You know, he's the forefather of, you know, the Chinese and the Japanese, man, you know. Well, you know, he was dwelling in the land of Sodom, man. And these two angels pulled up, you know, to the land of Sodom. Right? And they say Lot sat at the gate of Sodom. Go ahead.
And Lot seeing them rose up to meet them.
Meaning, you know, Lot seen them when they pulled up, and he, you know what I'm saying, he rose up to go and meet them and greet them, you know. You know, see if they good, see what's going down, you know. They pulling up into his city. Go ahead.
And he bowed himself with his face and toward the ground.
You know, and he came, he showed respect unto the angels, man. You know, he came, he bowed himself into the ground, man. Let's get verse 2.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 19, verse 2. And he said, behold now, my lords, turn in, I pray you into your servant's house and tarry all night.
So, he telling them, I see y'all that pulled up into the city, man. Man, go ahead and come over to my crib, man. Right? That's what it say, right? Read it again for me from the top.
And he said, behold now, my lords, turn in. I pray you into your servant's house.
I mean, come and let me serve you, man. I got everything you need over here. If y'all need something to eat, y'all need something to drink, y'all want to just kick up your feet and relax and chill. I got y'all, man. Lot trying to get them away from everything else that's going on in this city, man. So people in that city, they messed up, man. Their minds is destroyed for a lack of knowledge. So he trying to make sure that they gonna be good while they in his city, man. So he like, man, look, ain't nothing out there, in these streets. Just come to my crib. Y'all be good over here. I'm gonna take care of y'all. Go ahead.
And tarry all night.
And y'all can chill all night, man. Go ahead.
And wash your feet, and ye shall rise up early and go on your way.
And you know what I'm saying? Y'all can come chill, kick your feet up and relax, do what y'all got to do for the night. And when y'all get up in the morning, y'all go on y'all way, do what y'all got to do. Go ahead.
And they said, nay.
They say, nay. They like, nah. You know what I'm saying? We came to see the city. We coming to see what's going on in this city, man. And that's how the Lord worked, man. The Lord sent his angels to come and bring back a report, man, on what the hell is going on in that city, man. Right? Go ahead. They like, we gonna go out in the streets, man. Go ahead.
Nay, but we will abide in the street all night.
We gonna go out in the streets and we gonna chill all night. You know what I'm saying? We ain't coming here just to be cooped up in the goddamn house all night, man. We come out here to post up to see what's going down in the city, man. They like, man, we trying to hit the spot and see what's shaking, what's going down. We can't get no reports in the house, We appreciate the hospitality and the love you showing, you know what I'm saying? But we got to put our boots on the ground. We've been hearing some crazy stuff going on in this city, man. We need to find out what the hell is going on. That's what the spirit of these angels is on, man. They come in here for business, right? But Lot trying to, look out for them and get them up out of there, and have them just come and chill and where they ain't got to deal with all that's going on in Sodom, man, in the world of Sodom. All right, let's get verse 3.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 19, verse 3. And he pressed upon them greatly.
He pressed on them greatly. He like, man, Salakia out of one you. You know what I'm saying? But y'all do not want to go out there. Man. Y'all don't want to see what's going on out there. I'm telling you, it'd be in y'all best interest to just come and chill with me, man. Come chill with me and my family and everything. We'll be good, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all be good. We're gonna take care of y'all. Go ahead.
They turned in unto him and entered into his house.
They like, you know what? He pressing on us, you know what I'm saying? Let's go and see what he's talking about, You know what I'm saying? Let's go. We he done pressed him so much. He like, you know what, man, let's just go, and get some of this good hospitality, man. Let the brother serve it. You know what I'm saying? Let's go in there. Go ahead.
And he made them a feast.
You know what I'm saying? Lot made, Lot, hooked them boys up, man, made them a feast, like it said. And did what?
He baked unleavened bread.
He baked them some unleavened bread, man. You know, this probably was in the time of unleavened bread, man. I ain't for sure. I have to get some clarity on it, we went and baked them some unleavened bread, man. And they ate it, right?
He did eat.
And they did eat, man. Let's get verse 4.
Genesis chapter 19, verse 4. But before they lay down, the men of the city.
Look, they couldn't even relax and chill good enough, man. They ate, start to get to where they, gonna relax and chill and lay down, man. But before they could lay down, what did it say? Men of the city, man.
Right? Men of the city, even the men of Sodom.
Go ahead. Meaning, what I'm saying? All the flamboyant, all the, they thems in the city, in the city of Sodom, man. All these, they thems. Go ahead.
Even the men of Sodom compassed the house round about.
Meaning they compassed the house round. Meaning they kept circling around the house, man. These men in this city, they circling around this house. They trying to see who them two men, right? That just came into this city that nobody know, right? They trying to look up on the goddamn angels to see who the hell they are, because they like, we ain't never seen them two men before. It don't say some, it say all the men, man. You know what I'm saying? It say even the men of Sodom and in the city, man, came circling the house where Lot was living, man, because these two angels was in that house, man. And they seen them come through the city to go to Lot crib. So now they just posted up around Lot crib trying to, see when the angels gonna come outside, man. Right? Continue on.
Men of Sodom compassed the house round.
Right? They compassed, right? Go ahead. Both
old and young, all the people.
Meaning both old and young. Meaning, these are old men and young men, man. And they did what?
Compassed the house round both old and young, all the people from every quarter.
Meaning all the people from every quarter, old and young, came to Lot crib to circle around his house, waiting to see when these two men was gonna come up out of the house, man. They just staked out, and waiting, man. That's a sickness, man. Everybody, all the men just sitting there waiting for two men to come out the house, man. Praying, man. Praying on these brothers, man. Not knowing that these are angels, man. And that's just what you doing. You a goddamn predator, man. You taking on that spirit, man. Let's continue on.
Book of Genesis chapter 19, verse 5. And they called unto Lot and said unto him.
They started calling on Lot, man. You know what I'm saying? They in there too long. They think Lot got two men in there, just you know what I'm saying? They think Lot just in there with two men, just going to town, man. They jealous.
Yeah.
They calling him up, like, what's going on with them two men? We seen you taking your crib. Yeah, we out here. You know what I'm saying? The whole city, man. Damn, man. Go ahead.
Where are the men which came into be this night?
And you know what I'm saying? We seen the men come over here tonight. You know, I know they in there. Where they at? You know, what you got going on over there? You know, y'all partying? You know what I'm saying? We like to party too. You know what I'm saying? We gonna live life to the fullest too. Well, you only live once, right? YOLO. Huh? You know what I'm saying? They all surrounding the lot crib for these angels, man. You know, they think it's just two men. You know, go ahead.
Bring them out unto us, and we may know them.
Like, you like, man, look out, like, go ahead and bring them out here. Bring them out here so we can get our turn. You know, that's what it say, so we may know them, meaning, you know, they want to have sex with them, man. That's what it means to know in the Bible, man. Right? Just like when it say that Isaac took Rebecca into his mother's tent and he knew her, and then it say he knew her again, right? Meaning he had sex with her, you know, and these goddamn thems in the land of Sodom is calling Lot to send these two men out his house, you know, so that they can have sex with him. Man, that's what they want. They like, bring them out to us that we may have sex with them too. You know, they think Lot up in there getting, you know what I'm saying, bending over these men, man, or whatever they thinking, man. You know, they trying to get them some, you know. Let's continue on.
Genesis chapter 19, verse 6. Lot went out at the door unto them and shut the door after him.
Man, you know, Lot went out, you know, he shut the goddamn door on them, man. You know. But you know what I'm saying? This is a people that is sick, man. Right? It's a sickness what they are going through. You know, they don't even know. You know, they are looking on two angels of the Lord, man, to try to have sex with them. You know. You know what I'm saying? That's a sickness, man. Let's see. Let's see what 7 say. I might drop it and go. All right, let's drop that. You know, it just goes into what he's offering up his family to save these two men. You know, that's crazy, man. You know. No, that show you how violent they get, man. You know, you try to come up against that them spirit, man. These people are a violent people. That's the whole goddamn, what they call it, the LBGTQ mafia, man. You know, but they shall not overcome the spirit of the Lord, man. You know, they overcome that goddamn Christian church and that Muslim mosque and your religion. You know what I'm saying? They'll overcome the purple pageants and, you know, the what's the pagan clique, right? You know, they ain't gonna come and you know, destroy the men in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, man, because this is the body of the Lord in Christ in the earth, man. All right, with that being said, we're gonna drop that. We're gonna get Genesis 4 and 1, man, to get some understanding on the word new, right? That was Genesis 4 and 1. Good night. Really? Bear with me for a second, man. All right, go ahead and read it.
Genesis chapter 4, verse 1. And Adam knew Eve, his wife.
Right, so I'm a back. Okay, so right, that's verse 1. Right, so it says Adam knew Eve, his wife, meaning Adam had sex with his wife, man. Right? And when Adam knew his wife, what happened?
And she conceived.
And she conceived, meaning, you know, you know, uh, uh, Adam, had sex with his wife, and she conceived a child, right? And then what it says after that?
And bare Cain.
Uh-huh.
And said, I have gotten a man from the Lord.
Meaning she brought forth a male child, man. His name was Cain. And she said that I have gotten a man, right? I've gotten a man from the Lord, man. But just remember, I said, what the word "knew" mean, right? And it says Adam knew Eve, his wife, and she conceived. Letting you know in the Bible, when it's talking about know, it's talking about sex. To know somebody, or to get to know, or they wanted to know. Meaning they wanted to have sex, right? Let's see. Let's get verse 17. Got it?
Genesis chapter 4, verse 17. And Cain knew his wife.
Yeah.
And she
Hold on. Right? So now it says, and Cain had sex with his wife, man. And then she conceived, right? That's how you are conceived, right? Through sex. That's how you get to know somebody. Go ahead.
And she conceived and bare Enoch.
Mm-hmm.
He built a city and called it the name of the city after the name of his son Enoch.
Man. So I just pulled these just to let you know what the word know mean, or to knew. When they talking about they knew, they talking about having sex, man. Meaning these goddamn they thems in the land of Sodom, they was trying to have sex with these two angels, man. They out there circling around Lot's crib, Dana beating on the door, trying to get Lot up out the crib so he can bring these two angels up out the house so they can have sex with them, man. That's how bad the land of Sodom, was, man. And it's getting that bad today, man. Here up under the hand of our oppressor, who is the goddamn devil the Bible speaks of, man. This is the new land of they them, man. Let's see. Let's get the book of Jude, chapter 1, verse 7.
Chapter 1.
Yeah, Jude 1 and 7. Got it?
It's the book of Jude, chapter 1, verse 7. Even as Sodom and Gomorrah and the cities about them in like manner, giving themselves over to fornication.
Right? That's what's going on in the land of Americas, man. All right, we are giving ourselves over into fornication, man. serving other gods and serving the oppressor and his ways of life, you know, going outside of the marriage, you know, that we're supposed to be in with the Lord in Christ, man. All right. You know, we are following after the ways of this world, man. And we're supposed to be separating ourselves from the ways of this world, man. You know, continue on.
And the cities about them in like manner, giving themselves over to fornication and going after strange flesh.
You know, that strange flesh, man. You know, a man going after another man, that's strange flesh, man. A woman going, you know, after another woman, you know, that's strange flesh. You know, and also, you know, going outside of your nation of people, man. You know, you are a Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, and you going out and dealing with, you know, another nation of people that is not of the nation of Israel. You know, you are going after strange flesh, man. You know, if you're a brother and you out here running around with whores, you know, that's strange flesh. You know, you a sister and you just out here, you know what I'm saying, throwing box, you know, every which way you go, man. You know what I'm saying? That's the strange flesh, man. Right? And you out there rubbing boxes. That's strange flesh, man. Go ahead.
Are set forth for an example, suffering the vengeance of eternal fire.
And you're going to have to pay for your crime, man. The Lord is going to turn up the heat in this hell, man. You know, he's going to repay you with his vengeance, man, for the crime that you commit against him. You know, by going and burning in your lust one towards another, man. You know, doing the things that is unnatural, that's against nature, man. You think that it's all good. You know, the Lord is going to turn up the heat, man. Let's get Mark 10:6.
So the book of Mark, chapter 10, verse 6. But from the beginning of the creation, God made them male and female.
You hear that? You know, in the beginning of all creation, man. You know, the Lord created a man and female, right? You know, he ain't create two goddamn males. You know, he didn't create two goddamn females. You know, he created a male and a mate. You know, he created a male and female, man. You know, and after he created the man and the woman, you know, he sent them out to go and populate the earth, man. And after a time, he chose a Pacific man, you know, to give him his spirit. You know, that man was Adam, man. And the Lord gave Adam his laws, statutes, and commandments, man. You know, and then Adam felt like he was lonely, man. You know. So, you know, what he did, you know, the Lord went and you know, got him a rib, man. He went pulled him a woman from out of the world, man. You know, that was close to his kin, man. Blood of his blood, flesh of his flesh, man. I mean, they were close family members, man. You know. But that's who the Lord chose to set and put his spirit within that family, man. Out of the men and women that he put in the earth, man. The Lord chose, Adam, and to give him Eve, right? Cutting the Christianity of the earth, man. In Christianity, we believe that, Adam and Eve were the two first people on the earth. When the scriptures clearly let you know that men and women, man and female, was created way before Adam and Eve was, in the garden. That came generations after the fact that he created man and female, right? But that's the way that the Lord said it from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Who taught you to lie and told you that, you don't have to go by that way of life. You can be a man and have a man, be a woman and deal with another woman, man. From the beginning of creation, that wasn't so, man. Right? The Lord created a male and he created a female, right? That's no confusion. You know what I'm saying? You know what it is, man. That's the way of nature, man. That's natural. You know what I'm saying? And it's of the Lord, man. Let's get verse 7. Go ahead.
Book of Mark, chapter 10, verse 7. For this cause shall a man leave his father and mother.
Right. So it say that a man should leave his father and his mother and do what?
And cleave to his wife.
No, you're supposed to go and cleave to another brother and get your backside blown out.
And cleave to his wife.
No, she's supposed to get her another woman and go and rub some boxes.
And cleave to his wife.
It says, for this cause, shall a man leave his mother and his father to go and cleave unto his wife, man. And he's supposed to go and get him a woman, and you go out and be fruitful and populate the goddamn earth, man. Right? Let your seed be spilled throughout the earth, man, and populate this place, man. That's our duty, man. And bring forth the spirit of the Lord while we're doing so. Right? That's first and foremost, man. Right? We ain't supposed to be leaving our mother and father to go and burn in our lusts, one towards another. I'm saying with meat on our mind. Right? So let's drop that, man. Let's get Psalms 119 and 9. Go ahead.
The book of Psalms, chapter 119, verse 9. That wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way.
You hear that? Listen up, man. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, if you are up under the sound of my voice, man, listen up, man. The scripture said that he that have an ear, let him hear, man. Right? I'm saying? Listen to what the Lord is saying, man. Right? Wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way, man. You want to come up out of the hell that you are dealing with, man. You're going to have to cleanse your ways, man. And we here to teach you how to do so, man. Right? You do it by doing what?
By taking heed thereto according to thy word.
By taking heed to according to thy word, man, that are written in these records, man. You know what I'm saying? By turning back to the laws, statutes, and commandments and serving the Most High God of Israel. That's how you cleanse your way, man. That's what it's going to take for us to get the hell up out of the condition that we're in, man. You know, and we all come from all kinds of different walks of life, man. You know, and battling all kinds of different demons, man. We got to continue to fight, man. You know what I'm saying? We got to continue to gather ourselves together, O nation not desired, man, and overcome the demons that we are battling, right? And grow stronger to be able to help another brother and sister, you know, deal with whatever they are dealing with, man. I'm saying you want to clean your ways. The only way to do so is by turning back to the laws of God, man. The same laws that they tell us that are done away with, man. Right? We don't have to keep the Old Testament, right? You know, Christ came and he taught the New Testament, right? Christ came and taught the same thing that the prophets of old taught, man. You know, he just came and showed you how to do it, right? He showed you the spirit behind keeping the law, right? Let's drop that. Let's get Luke 19 and 21. Go ahead.
Book of Luke, chapter 19, verse 21. For I fear thee, because thou art our spirit man.
You hear that? This is Christ, man. You know, this is our King, man. Yahweh Shai Mashiach, man, who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ. You know, he said, for I fear thee, because thou art an austere man, right? Meaning Christ was a man that was stiff-necked, you know what I'm saying? A stiff brother, right? You know what I'm saying? Hardcore, you know, unforgiving, you know, a hard brother, man. Silent, man. Grim. You know, you look up that definition of austere and you get them synonyms of that word, man. That's the spirit that Christ had, man. You know, and he was unforgiving, right? You know, that's the same spirit he's gonna have when he come back, man. Right? The scripture said that Christ is gonna say, "Bring all before me that wish that I shall not reign over them. Bring them before me and slay thee hither," man. Right? You know, and that's where you don't want to be at the end of that blade, man. When Christ give that order, right? You standing before Christ and you telling them, you know, I did all these things in your name. You know, I went out and fed the poor. I went and healed the sick. I went and preached the gospel. You know, I built this big old cathedral church. You know, I had all the people coming to serve you. And I did it in your name, Christ. You know, for Christ to turn around and say, depart away from me. I never knew you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you did all these works. You claimed you did it in my name, but I don't know you. You know, that's a cold piece right there. And then for Christ to give the order, you know, to chop off your head, man. You know, that's the Christ that's not being taught to the world. You know, but that's an austere man. You know, that's the spirit of Christ. That's who Christ is, man. Read that out.
I fear thee, because thou art a austere man. Thou take it up, that thou layest not down, and weepest that thou didst not sow.
And you know what I'm saying? This brother that's dealing with Christ, he telling Christ, you know, how he fear him because he an austere man. He knew Christ didn't play no games. So he's telling Christ the reason he didn't go and grow his penny is because he wanted to have the penny there for when Christ came back because he didn't want to show up and didn't have nothing. That was worse than having nothing, man, because you got this one penny and didn't do nothing with it, man. You know, you just sat on it. You know what I'm saying? And Christ let him know, you know that I'm an austere man. I don't play no games. You know what I'm saying? I'm about my Father's business, but you telling me that I gave you this penny to go out there and multiply, and you just bringing me the same penny back? Nah. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna handle you like this, right? That you know that Christ was a hardcore brother, man. You know, he wasn't that soft, stringy hair dog in that goddamn Christian church, man. You know, he was a solid brother, man, stiff. You know, that's who he was, man. That's the spirit that we bring to you in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Finish that scripture out.
I fear thee because thou art a steer man that taketh up, thou taketh up, that thou layest not down, and reapest that thou didst not sow.
All right, let's get Proverbs 16:5. Go ahead.
Book of Proverbs, chapter 16, verse 5. Everyone that is proud in heart is an abomination.
You hear that? It says, everyone that is proud in heart is an abomination to the Lord, man. You know, y'all out there, you know, going to parades and turned up and you pride, right? You know, you got pride in being a they, them, you know. You got pride in going and get your backside blown out by another man, you know. Guess what? It says everyone that is proud, man. You know what I'm saying? You proud in your mind, you know. You know, it's all good for you to go and do that thing you're doing and you're celebrating it, man. You know, it's an abomination to the Lord. I mean, it's something that the Lord hates so much that he will unalive you for it, man. He will destroy you for it. Continue on.
Though hand join in hand, he shall not be unpunished.
I'm saying, even though you go and join hands with this goddamn oppressor, and he tell you that it's okay for you to go and marry another man, and it's okay for you to be a woman and rub box and marry that woman, and you know, and yeah, you could still serve the Lord and do it. You know, the Lord love you. You know, but guess what? It's not going to go unpunished, man. You know, you can join hands with your oppressor all you want, man. You know, this oppressor, he is the goddamn devil the Bible speaks of. And you going and joining hands with him is because you are of your father, the goddamn devil, man. Right? You know, you're going to have to pay for your crimes that you are committing. Let's get verse 18.
Proverbs chapter 16, verse
16 and 18.
the book of Proverbs chapter 16, verse 18. Pride goeth before destruction.
You hear that? You know what I'm saying? You know, pride coming before the fall, man. You know, you pride out there. You prideful, right? You celebrating Pride Month. Well, guess what? You can't say Pride Month without demon, because that's what you got on you. You know, it's hidden right there in the word, man. You know what I'm saying? And that demon is going to destroy you, man. Right? Yeah, that pride, it goeth before destruction. And that's what you're doing. You are destroying yourself, man. Right? You are destroying, you know, your temple, man. Right? Right? You are becoming a habitation of demons, man. And that demon job is to isolate you, shame you, and unalive you, man. All right, continue on.
Pride going before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall.
You know what I'm saying? A haughty spirit before a fall, man. You know, you're not going to prosper, you know what I'm saying, going against the Lord, man, following after the ways of this world. It might seem like you're doing good for a time, you know, because you're not paying for your crime right then and there. But you know, every like to say, every great story got an end, you know, and yours is coming. You know, just keep on saying good morning and keep doing what you're doing. With that, we're gonna pass the class over to Priest and Officer Lamaya for the security announcements.
Isupk security announcements. We're on our Isupk start at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Root for new brother and sister. When a new brother and sister comes into the school, they're offering them for 6 months. They'll be student only. They get to shed themselves on the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange. After 6 months, if a brother and sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. It's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After the 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry, ties, which is a commandment. You'll find this in the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21, and the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 8 through 10, which means 10 in Hebrew, Ma'asharah. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, we will offer for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like, of the holy convocations. For the holy convocations is memorial blowing of the trumpets. The first day of the month, Friday, September the 11th, 2026. We read this in the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 24 through 26. Anyone would like to become a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. This concludes the Isupk security announcement.
All right, with that, so we're gonna stand, we're gonna turn, face the east. We're gonna say the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanaw, Sabasmai, Wadash, Haya, Shemka, Yahweh, Lakuka, Kaba'ah, Ratsaka, Haya, Aisha, Ratasa, Kawa, Haya, Bashmai, Matananawa, the come, call, the woman, was luck, cover what, Kasluk, cover what, well, cover I now, but inside one, above, how shine now, my young, Ra, Haya, the cup, Amalagwa, well, Rata Parat, I love him, Amun. In English, our Father, so in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. So be it. Individual, give one courteous salute to the teacher, then a bishop. By the spot, my rock. Yabashim Yashab Rakata. Yatabata. Saw. Individual, give one courteous salute to the sisters, then a bishop. Mighty Isupk, Magic, Rock. Y'all start thought about see me outside. Y'all give me time. Dismiss.
Is you ready? Is you ready? Is you ready for whatever? We stay ready. We ready. We ready for whatever. Come on.
Ready for whatever, 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 ready for whatever. I'm in the truth now, I can't turn back, you know why? General Mahayaman said I don't have permission to die. They hit you with Christianity, that's how they get you hypnotized. As soon as you close your eyes, your neighborhood getting gentrified. Go against my army brigade, you a dumb nigga. I got an AR-15 with a thumb trigger. Isupk, stay in the groove like a needle on a record. We move in twos, when it jump off, we'll be there in a second. Don't test the best, guns cock, aiming at your chest. If you wear a vest, straight dome calls, what a mess. If you cool with us, no need to stress, just say less. Ain't no need to guess, UPK above the rest. Black boots, black shirt, black pants, nigga. Black war scarf, black gun, make you dance, nigga. It's UPK all day, I told you from the start. All my niggas got courage, they ain't scared, they got heart. Ready for whatever, ready for whatever, ready for whatever, ready for whatever.
Is you ready? Is you ready? Is you ready for whatever? We stay ready. We ready. We ready for whatever. Come on.
Ready for whatever, ready for whatever, ready for whatever, ready for whatever.
Is you ready? Is you ready? Is you ready for whatever? We stay ready. We ready. We ready for whatever. Come on.
Alt-right, alt-left, Republicans and Democrats, conservatives and liberals, all of them be snakes, they rats. The neo-Nazis making threats, they say they hanging niggas. My brothers strapped, ready for the race war, so how they figure? We got artillery, much weaponry, so bring it on. I'll make that AR-15 with a scope, sing a song. First they came in Nick, then Chappelle, man, fuck Viacom. Send them evil curses, I pray the terrorists drop a bomb. Israelites, my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh, we stay tight and you never separate us. We the army of the Lord and together we mesh. Pack my tool when I roll with the crew. When the order come down, then I know what to do. Shamar on point, keep a lookout too. If you think we slipping, you a motherfucking fool. Breaking down the scriptures, letting you know the world's a trap. Brothers got their crowns uncovered, sisters got their heads wrapped. The wicked flee when the priests and prophets on the scene. We bring the order to your city, UPK supreme. I got that 45 on me like I'm Michael Jordan. Enemies coming up missing on milk carton. When the UPK step on the scene, all these rappers get more nervous than taking the COVID vaccine. Ready for whatever,